Good afternoon to all. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the data types. Now, let us see what do you mean by a constant. Constant is any value that cannot be changed during program execution. And C, any number, single character or character string is known as a constant. A constant is an entity that doesn't change, whereas a variable is an entity that may change. For example, number 50 represent a constant integer value. The character string programming in C is fun /n. /n here is used for next line. Okay. It is an example of a constant character string. C constant can be divided into two major categories. They are primary constant and secondary constant. These constants are further categorized as, let us see the block diagram for the C constant. It is further divided as primary and the secondary. For primary, integer constant, real character constant. So in secondary constants, we are having array, pointer, structure, union, and enum. So, numeric constant, character constant, and the string constant. First, we are going to study about the numeric constant. Numeric constant consists of digits. It required minimum size of 2 bytes and max of 4 bytes. It may be positive or negative, but by default sign is always positive. No comma or space is allowed within the numeric constant value, and it must have at least one digit. The allowable range for integer constant is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. Truly speaking, the range of an integer constant depends upon the compiler. For 16-bit like Turbo C, the range is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. But for a 32-bit compiler, the range would be even higher. Meanwhile, a 16-bit or a 32-bit compiler, what range of integer constant has to do with the type of the compiler? It is categorized a integer constant and a real constant. An integer constant are whole number which have no decimal points. Types of integer constant are decimal, octal, hexadecimal constant. So, in decimal constant, first digit should not be 0. Unlike octal constant, first digit must be 0. And in hexadecimal constant, first two digits should be 0x or 0 capital letter X, such as see the examples. Okay. By default, type of integer constant is integer, but if the value of integer constant is exceeds range, then value represented by integer type is taken to be unsigned or long integer. It can also be explicitly mentioned integer and unsigned integer type by suffix I, L and U/U. Real constant is also called a floating point constant. To construct real constant, we must follow the basic rules. Like real constant must have at least one digit. It must have a decimal point. It could be either positive or negative. Default sign would always be a positive. No commas or blanks are allowed within a real constant. To express small or large real constant exponent form is used where number is written in mantissa and exponent form separated by E/capital E. Exponent can be positive or negative integer, but mantissa can be real or integer type. For example, 3.6 into 10 power 5 is equal to 3.6e plus 5. Here, the 10 to the power 5, this 10 is taken as e and plus 5 is taken as it is. By default type of floating point constant is double. It can also be explicitly defined it by suffix of f or capital letter F. Now let us look character constant. Character constant represented as a single character enclosed within a single quote. These can be single digit, single special symbol, or white spaces such as 9, C, dollar symbol, etc. Even character constant has a unique integer like value in machine's character code. As if machine using ASCII, the full form of ASCII is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Some numeric value associated with each upper and lower case alphabets and decimal integers are A to Z. It is the value between 65 to 90 range, and the small letter A to Z will be from 97 to 122, and the digits values like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are having the values 48 to 50, and it goes on, and this value is 59. So now let us coming to the string constant. Set of characters are called string, and when sequence of characters are enclosed within a double quote, it may be a combination of all kinds of symbols, is a string constant. String constant has 0, 1 or more than one character, and at the end of the string, null character is automatically placed by the compiler. Some examples are A, 3, it might be of white spaces, and etc. In C, although some characters are enclosed within single and double quotes, it represents different meaning, such as double quotes and the single quote. Both are having the different meaning. Because first one is string attached with the null character and at the end, but the second one is the character constant with its corresponding ASCII value. And for A, the ASCII value will be 65. Okay, now let us see what do you mean by symbolic constant. Symbolic constant is a name that substitute for a sequence of characters, and characters may be numeric, character or string constant. These constants are generally defined at the beginning of the program as hashtag define name value. Here the name generally written in the uppercase. Like define max 10, define chb, define name Sony, etc. Variable is a data name which is used to store some data value or symbolic names for storing program computations and results. The value of the variable can be changed during the execution. The rule for naming the variable is same as naming identifier. Before use in program, it must be declared. Declaration of variable specify its name, data types, and range of value that variables can store depend upon its data type. Syntax, it goes like this. Int A, character C, float F, variable initialization. When we assign any initial value to the variable during the declaration, it is called as initialization of variables. When variable is declared but contain undefined value, then it is called garbage value. So the variable is initialized with assignment operators such as data type variable name is equal to constant. That is, data type is here int and the variable is here a and the constant is 20. Or in a is equal to 20. You can write both in both ways, like this or like this. So in the next coming lecture, I will be dealing about the expressions part and the operators, and in that I am going to discuss about the arithmetic operator, assignment, and so on. Thank you. If you like the video, please put a thumbs up.